So, Spirit has entrusted me with one of its spirit birds here, I can tell. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time with it. I will be spending as little time as possible for the next week to see if it can fly off. I don't want it to get too used to humans, and I want to see if it can reintegrate itself back into the wild, and we'll just keep feeding it like its parents would until it's strong enough to do that. And then hopefully in the years to come, God will use this beautiful being to deliver the odd message to me out in nature. So, and if the feeding fails, then there's a sanctuary, but I'd hate to see him go into a sanctuary. There's no reason he can be reintegrated into the wild. Either that or he'll choose to just hang around Feathersdale as one of our guardians, so who knows. So I am very confident, very confident. There are men and women in this part of the world who I know who are sick or elderly, and they have children. And I know that when those people pass, that they have wishes for those children to come and live with me. And those men and women speak a language I can decipher. But I believe that animals speak a language that I've begun to decipher, and it's not a language of spoken word, it's a language of energetic exchange. And my spirit birds have guided me so much, but everybody who comes here, my wife especially, knows the relationship I've had with this little being's parents. And I've been literally friends with her parents for so many years, and God has used them so many times to direct me and to help me. And then we found the wing of a spotted eagle owl squashed on the road, so I sadly presume that one of the parents has died and the other one has left. And I believe that that parent that has passed, that has transmuted its form from physical into light or into spirit, has guided this little being to literally the only place it can possibly survive, because it would have starved out in nature. It can't hunt yet. There are vast, endless amounts of places it could go, and it chooses the compound with nearly 100 dogs in it. Probably the most unsafe place there is around here, but it chooses there. Not only that, it chooses outside my house. And I spoke to this owl yesterday, and it heard me. And I don't care what you say, it heard me. And it heard me. I said, you have to eat. I know I'm not your parent, I know you miss them, but you've got to eat or you won't make it. 5 minutes later it ate after a 20-hour standoff with a dead rat. Then I told it to come into this compound here, which we've just built, literally a week ago. Just got finished building this. Because it's a workspace for me and also a place for me to rest and recover while I'm sick. So we put a fence around it so the kids have a physical boundary not to come in, and the staff too. And I said, go in there, it's safer, the dogs can't get you. And today, here it is sitting in here. And I very much believe that the parent, just like the parents of humans here, has a mothering love that's carried on to the spirit world. And it came in the angles of light it can and said, go that way, because there's no other place it would have survived except here. Nowhere. And it came here. And thus I'll care for it and love it as best I can. But at the same time do my utmost to make sure it gets the opportunity to go back to Mother Nature and fly and soar free and live free. So, like it was born to do. Millions of years of evolution. The closest descendant of a bird is a reptile, and the oppression of gravity is something that they refuse to accept. And that oppression of gravity, as they perceived it force them to grow wings and say, I'm not flying, I'm not staying down here anymore, I'm going up there, I'm going to soar. And that's the beauty of the nature of birds. Freedom, a sense of freedom we see in them, in the flight, the movement they have. Their refusal to accept gravity. The refusal to accept being grounded as a species, as a being, as an animal. And they develop wings. Stunning. So I'm kind of aware that my good friend, this spotted eagle owl, who has left due to the technology of man, a car seems to have hit it, I would guess, based on where the wing was found. I believe that spirit has entrusted her child to me, just as I've got tribal elders here who have entrusted their children to me before they've even passed and said, when I pass, I want them to come to you, because there's nowhere for them. And I think that's the relationship we should have with nature, with animals. Just the same one we have with humans. You see a child in distress, you help the child. I don't really care what species the child is. Distress is distress. And it's felt the same in all sentient life. And I've called him Shogun because I can't help but think of samurai when I look at his horns, as you would call them. Reminds me of the samurai masks, and that reminds me of Shogun. So I've named him Shogun. I hope he doesn't mind. They were very spiritual people, and predominantly vegan, actually, the samurai. So, very wonderful people. Masters of their trades. I respect people who master and discipline themselves in life. So I had a natural interest in samurai once. So this is Shogun, the child of my spirit bird, and I pray I do well by Shogun, and Shogun can become a spirit bird of Earth who might just watch over me as life goes on. You never know.
Hey